So some of you saw me on Friday building a zombie bot, which I thought would be pretty cool um, to use as the project. I mean, who doesn't want to see a zombie bot? But my problem with that was that the solar panel was only enough to be able to move the zombie bot by itself, which of course is what it was designed for. And the other part of the project was mounting the Arduino board on there to control the DC motor to move the bot forwards and backwards. There wasn't any real place to mount this board with that robot the way it was. So I had to rethink this. Even if I could get the board mounted to the zombie bot with just the solar panel, adding this weight, I don't think that solar panel was enough to push this added weight. The other part of the project was to get a 9-volt battery involved to power the Arduino board, so it could be completely disconnected from a laptop and just run independently, and have the power to still run the code and control the bot. So this additional weight just wasn't going to cut it with the solar panel. So I had to rethink the design. This kit has the ability to build 14 different robots. 2 of them are boats, which I think would have plenty of room to add these devices, but I wasn't too keen on having my Arduino board on a boat in water. So the next decision was making this car bot. The car bot has 4 wheels, so it will roll a little bit better than the zombie bot would. And I think gives me the room I need to mount the devices I need. One thing I need to figure out is, I mean, I'd like to be able to keep the head here that moves up and down, not by motor, by hand, and somehow mount the Arduino board onto him in that fashion. If that's not going to work, I will remove the head. It just pops off here. And mount the board like so. So those are two options I have for the Arduino board. For the battery, I can lift this little cage up here and I think mount the battery in a fashion like that. So that takes care of the Arduino board and the battery, and I think we'll be able to roll better with this additional weight. With that, again, controlling the motor so it moves forwards and backwards. But the more I looked into the design, which the original design was, we'll go down to this page here, was to have the motor sit on top, on the back here, engage this axle, which then would transfer on down the line through these gears to the front wheel. With this, I could only see, again, the car bot going forwards and backwards. Not too exciting. So what I did was rethink how the gears were laid out in the bottom of the car. And instead of having going from the gearbox to the front, I just took out all those gears and just went to so it ran the rear axle. And my plan for the front axle, which is solid, is to somehow cut that. The holes through the frame have enough wiggle room, so once this is cut, the wheel should move, have plenty of room back and forth. But the problem is to figure out how to do that and where to mount the servo motor, and how to connect that servo motor to the axle. We have a bar going across here, and I see this tab on the back of the servo motor with the screw hole. somehow screwing to that, and that about puts that propeller on the servo motor right above that front axle. If I can mount that solidly in that fashion, cut the front axle and run a string or some sort of connecting device from the propeller to the axle, I think I could accomplish this bot going forwards, backwards, and being able to steer as well. These little caps come with the kit that connect to the axles to hold the gears in place. So what I figured, if I made a cut somewhere in between these two caps, these spin independently of the axle, somehow run a string from there to the servo motor, and I think that would give my wheels moving left to right, so I can go forwards, backwards, and left to right. So that's the big dilemma right now, is I only have one axle. I got to make this cut, and I got to make it right. I don't have any spares. So right now it's coming up with a design, thinking it through, and finding the best way to make that connection. So that's the plan at the moment.